Well, that's very well said. And a lot of your supporters believe you're going to win, and you're going to win pretty significantly. When you do win, if that happens, what kind of mandate do you think that sets for the second administration, that you have gone up against a corrupt FBI, a rigged media, monopolies in Silicon Valley, millions and millions of dollars pouring in from Wall Street, billionaires donate to Joe Biden 2-1 over your father. If you win, what does that say for a second-term agenda that you were able, with the power of the people behind you, to overcome that and win?
Listen, I think it's a mandate to clean house. I think it's a mandate to get other Republicans to actually start fighting. I mean, Republicans, they'll sit there and they'll talk a really good game. They'll talk in front of crowds and tell them everything they want to hear about conservative values and fighting for them. And then they get down to D.C. and they fold over, they roll over and die each and every time. I think it's a mandate for Republicans to actually step up, to do the things that their constituents want, to not be manipulated by some left-wing newspaper who's going to write a bad article about them. Who cares? Get out there, fight for what the people that put you in office want for a change. Get out there and do that. So we do have to win the House. We do have to win the Senate to make that happen. We had that in 2016. We had the House and the Senate, but you had Paul Ryan. You had the weakest leadership in the history of Republican Party doing that. He didn't want to do anything to upset his beloved friends in the media who hated his guts anyway, but they knew they could manipulate him, so they pretended they were friends, and he rolled over and died. We can't have that anymore. We need to win the House. We need to win the Senate, and then we need to go fight. We got to put an end to the big tech monopolies. We got to break up the protections that they get from 230 if they're going to be functioning as, publishers, stymieing free speech. I mean, the basic fundamental rights that Americans hold so near and dear, they're running roughshod with this as though it doesn't even exist, and they're getting away with it, and we've sat by on the sidelines watching for too long. Republicans have, especially by just pretending it's not going on. They're not in touch with their base enough to understand that this is a #1 issue with our people that I see every day on the ground, thousands of them. We have to push back, and we have to end this nonsense once and all, or in a couple of years you're going to wake up and you're not going to have a voice whatsoever.
So it sounds like what you're saying is a victory here by the Trump campaign would light a fire under Republicans in Washington, D.C. to go after big tech, to not cower to the media. And you also said clean house. I don't know if you mean within the administration. I think that's probably what you mean. Would you pursue, or would you recommend pursuing investigations into the Biden family for money laundering or corruption if the president wins a second term?
But I think they should do it either way. I mean, this kind of corruption, think about it. Look at what they did to us for 3 years, Jesse. They accused me of committing treason, a crime punishable by death. They called my father an agent of Russia. That turns out to all be nonsense. Now you actually have it. You have the hard drives. You have the receipts. You have the wire transfers. You have the money. You have eyewitnesses, that are Democrats. This isn't partisan hackery. You have all of these things. They went after us for 4 years for accusing us of a tiny fraction of the stuff that Hunter Biden's actually been doing. They better do that. But the FBI, they had this laptop. They allowed impeachment to happen knowing that they were right about Joe Biden. My father's instincts, again, just like he was right when he said the Obama-Biden campaign was spying on him. He knew because he understands how this world works. He understands when something isn't quite right. He gets it. So he was right then, and he's right this time. But look at what the FBI did to us. They railroaded us with a made-up dossier. They worked together with an agent of Russia, an actual Russian spy, to come up with the Steele dossier, sell it to the media to try to set up a coup. So you got to clean house at the upper level of the FBI, not the door kickers. Those guys come up to me every day. They can't believe what's going on with the disgraceful leadership in their own agencies. But this is a Washington, D.C. theme. It's why they want Joe Biden to win, because he's one of them. He's been there for half a century, Jesse.
Exactly.
He's not fixing anything. The swamp will remain the swamp under Joe Biden because he's a swamp creature. That's what he did. If Joe Biden could have fixed anything, he wouldn't have waited 47 years to start acting. No one should be that stupid. But again, because the media and social media refuses to carry that message and frankly says exactly the opposite on every TV in every household in America, we are functioning from a deficit, and we have to overcome that by fighting harder and by speaking to the people. We don't have the luxury of hiding in a basement like Joe Biden. We have to be on the ground talking to the Americans my father wants to represent.
All right, Don, last question. Are you guaranteeing a victory, and how big would it be if it happens?
Listen, I think we win handily if there's not the cheating and the gamesmanship. You see that going on all the time. You see, they're going around trying to collect ballots. You see the Democrats, their big push. They don't want the signature on an absentee ballot of a registered voter to match that voter's actual signature. Oh, that's wonderful. I wonder why. I wonder why, because I can't come up with a single reason other than you're planning on cheating. They want to be able to collect the ballots for 11 days. It's amazing how that always happens, right? A Republican wins the seat by 7,000 votes. 4 days later, they show, oh, look. Oh, there was a ballot of boxes. It was in my trunk. Oh, it's 7,001 votes. They're all Democrat. Congratulations, you win. I mean, this kind of nonsense has to stop. All we want is a fair election, and the Democrats, that's the only thing they don't want, and they're working hard at it.